You are standing at a threshold. And this week, the universe is whispering or shouting, depending on how well you've been listening. Two planetary gates are open. One is fiery and fast and disruptive, and the other is watery, slow, and sacred. And in between, well, there's you, with one foot in an old timeline and one hand reaching towards the future you came here to live. This astrology this week isn't casual. It's a timeline split. So welcome everyone. Thank you for joining me in this new series. This will be coming up once every week. I've got 3 new series coming. So there will be 3 new videos coming in addition to my dailies. All right, my little astro babies. Let's see what this energy is about, how it's working for us, not against us. Remember that, right? So let's talk a little astrology. So you might already be feeling this on the 16th today. Yeah, but on the 17th, tomorrow, Mars is going to be at 0 degrees, right? And what you might be feeling is the irritability, the urgency, the deep emotional fatigue beneath it all. And this is because Mars is in Virgo and he's going to be at 1 degrees. He's at 0 degrees and he's forming this 10th square, right? And so what is Mars? Mars is the god of war. Mars is the aggressor. Mars is the go-to. Mars is the action. Mars is like the oomph, the gasoline, the vigor, right? But he's also the protector, right? And that's the way he shows his love, is he's the protector. So because he's forming this 10th square, what is Uranus? Remember, Uranus's job is just to help you understand your freedom and to live in freedom, right? So Uranus will disrupt, right? And Mars being the aggressor and Uranus disrupting, that's why you're feeling like this irritability, this urgency, this deep emotional fatigue, right? So this Mars at 0 degrees and this Uranus at 29 degrees, we know that's an anaretic degree, right? The closing out of things. It's like Mars in Taurus is, where's my resources? What are my resources? Do I feel free in my resources? Do I feel free in my stability? Do I feel free in my stability, safety, right? And Mars is coming, they're having this 10th square. So this is the crack the code moment. This is where your body is saying, Mars, the body, enough. And the soul is saying more, right? There's this 10 square doing that. Meanwhile, and let me show you, we have something else going on this day. And it's not just this day, it's this week. So I want everybody to be clear, it's this week, okay? Meanwhile, there's something much deeper stirring, right? And the reason that I'd said the soul is saying more. We have Saturn in Aries, Neptune in Aries, right? And remember, Aries is about your identity. Aries is about the way that you're going to live in this body, in this life. But Saturn is restriction, right? Neptune is expansion. So you're already feeling the push and pull, I can start things, but I can't. I'm trying, but I don't. But this back and forth, right? You're already having that issue with this. Plus you have this Mars and this Uranus disrupting, right? So, but it is forming a square to Jupiter, right? So Saturn being about restriction and responsibility and integrity, and Neptune wanting to expand all that and moving forward and seeing the future and having your dreams come through with Saturn in your body in Aries, right? So your body is saying one thing where your soul is saying more, and your body's saying, I've had enough right now. Right? But as it's squaring this Jupiter in Cancer, right? So Jupiter, anything Jupiter touches is going to make it bigger, right? Jupiter is wisdom. Jupiter is luck. Jupiter is expansion, right? In Cancer, which it just moved in Cancer, that's about your family, who you consider family, what you consider family, your gathering, your group, your love, your relationships and partnerships like that. That is that is Jupiter. It's going to make this house bigger, but it's also making this feel bigger, be bigger. So your body, right? Your body, Aries, Mars is the ruler of Aries, right? So this is what I'm calling a transition. So this is where structure, these two, this is where structure meets dreams, meets emotional expansion, but not without a fight. So when Saturn and Neptune conjunct, we're asking to bring the formless into form, your dreams, the way you want to live your life, the things that you want around you, right? And to ground this vision, even if our feet feel a little shaky. So we're being called, we're being like, it's almost like a pull, right? To ground that vision that you see, even if your feet feel shaky. But when Jupiter squares this pairing, right? So when Jupiter is squaring this pairing, our emotional reactions are heightened. So you're going to really feel this, and you're going to feel it in your body and your soul, in your body and your energy, right? But so even though our emotional reactions are heightened, so are our illusions. So I want each of you to understand that these aren't just transits. These are choices. These are choices you're having to make. And this week, the choice is in this. We want to say no to staying in the loop. And that would mean overthinking, reacting, fixing, freezing. Because guess what? You'll repeat the timeline you've been trying to outgrow if you do this. What you want to do is shift, right? So what you want to do is act from truth. Rest before reacting. Move from your vision, not from your programming. Mars Uranus square, that Mars Uranus square is designed to push your nervous system, but it's not designed to break you. It's just designed to push your nervous system, but to show you it's not trying to break you. It's trying to show you exactly where the old armor still lives. And Saturn and Neptune, that's the gate. That's the vision you've been dreaming of for years that wants to land in this reality. But you can't build it if you're still trying to control it. And Jupiter will amplify whatever it chooses and whatever you choose. So you are it, right? So Jupiter is going to amplify whatever you choose. Are you going to choose fear or faith? Scarcity or overflow? This, my beautiful ones, is up to you. Now I want you to take a moment, and I need you to understand that, give me just a second, let me move this, hold on. Understand that you're not broken. You are blooming under pressure, almost like a diamond, like I've talked about before. The chaos you feel, it's not punishment, it's precision. The timing of these aspects is no accident. You know this. You knew you were going to be here at this time with these aspects and these energies. Okay? You're just, it's the time to remember. The universe is asking, will you be different long enough to see it? That's all you need to do. Be different long enough to see it. You don't need to manifest harder. You don't need to listen deeper to your gut, to your body, to the ancient knowing that says you've been here before, and this time you choose differently. Okay? This is what timeline work looks like. It's messy, embodied, sometimes terrifying, but I promise you, it's always, always sacred. So now that we've discussed a little bit about what these energies are and how they're coming to you and how you may perceive them, let's do a little alchemy. Let's do a little transmuting. I'm going to show you. I'm going to tell you what to do. You have a choice whether to do these or not. Okay, this is here to help you. All right. So I'd like each one of you, either during this or after this. This is you can call it whatever you want, steps to take, right? But this is going to help you transmute this energy and work with it. Have it flow through you. Okay. So take out a journal, piece of paper, whatever, right? And I need you to sit and be still. And then I want you to write, if I believed I was safe, supported, and truly guided, what would I do differently today? Okay? I'll say that again. Do your journal, and I want you to write it. If I believed I was safe, supported, and truly guided, what would I do differently today? Okay? Now here's a mini, you can call it a ritual, you can call it a steps to take. The words don't matter. It's your intention and understanding and remembering that matters. Okay? So call it what you want. But I want you to write, and I want you to, after you do that journal prompt, after you do that journal writing, I want you to write down one repeating pattern of fear or belief that you know doesn't belong to the version of you you're becoming. Okay? Then I want you to burn it or bury it. Or if you don't want to burn it, whisper it into water and pour it onto the earth. So say that to yourself into the water, right? Say what the repeating pattern of fear or belief that you know doesn't belong to the version of you you're becoming. And you can whisper it into the water and then pour the water into Mother Earth where she will transmute it for you. Okay? And as you do this, as you pour it or as you burn it, whichever you choose, you can say, I no longer act from the wound, I create from the wisdom. I no longer act from the wound, I create from the wisdom. Okay? Then I want you to place your hand over your heart and your belly, and I want you to breathe deeply. And I want you to say, I am no longer available for timelines that make me abandon myself. Okay, I'll say that again. Place your hand over your heart and your belly. And I want you to take a deep breath in. And I want you to say, I am no longer available for timelines that make me abandon myself. Now, if there's anything else that I would like for you to understand, is that this week isn't about astrology. It's about agency. These transits don't decide your fate. They highlight the places where your fate becomes choice. Mars, Saturn, Neptune, and Jupiter. They're all in dialogue with you. They're all talking to you. And you get to respond, not with fear, but with a sacred yes. All right, my beautiful ones. So please comment below. Tell me what timeline you are choosing and subscribe. And because this isn't just a forecast, it's a remembering. And the sky is waiting for you to rise. We'll see you on the next one next week. Love you, love you, love you. Bye.